what is the valid, legit level of expectation of the Broncos? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that you got to look at them. They go to the playoffs last year. They win 10 games. They get throttled by Buffalo in the playoffs. Like, I would look at two things. Defensively, they were a top defense last year. They've addressed Hufunga in the middle of the football field safety position and Greenlaw. And if Greenlaw is healthy after, coming off that Achilles tendon that he only played a handful of games last year, if that guy's healthy, that dude is a football playing Jesse, man. That guy can flat play. So I love watching him. I think they addressed that defense quite well. They also went out and got a tight end. They have not had a tight end really Owen Daniels, maybe the last guy that was real productive at the tight end position. They went out and got Evan Ingram. So, like that, in theory, from a passing standpoint, a split out standpoint, Sean Payton always calls them jokers, guys that can play multiple positions, carry the ball on jet sweeps and do all that stuff. So I think that definitely creates a bonus for Bo Nix in the passing game. And then they've got to fix the running game, Rich. Bo Nix was their best rusher last year. They were not very good running the football. If they can do that, I don't know how much better their record will be because of the division they play in. The Raiders have gotten better under the changes that they have made with Pete Carroll and the likes. I think the Chargers, who beat the Denver Broncos twice last year, are formidable, and I love the way they're built from the inside out under Jim Harbaugh. And obviously, you got the Chiefs. So I don't know that their record's going to be much better than 10-7. Maybe they gain, maybe they win one extra 11 games. But I do think they'll be more competitive. And I think they'll be better if they when they get into the playoffs. And I'm assuming they're going to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, man. I mean, they drafted Jody Barron, right? Who, and they got the defensive player of the year also playing corner. Hufanga now joins this secondary as well, as you mentioned. Nick Benito, defensive player of the year type resume from last year. Zach Allen, as good as they come. Dre Greenlaw. I mean, that's just John Franklin Myers. Not many people mention him. You got the defense, the offensive line appears to be, improved as well. I love the drafting of R.J. Harvey. Not a lot of people were talking about him at the Combine, obviously, and for top 30 visits. The signing of Dobbins, too. I mean, I think they're improved, Mark. I really do think they are.
I think they are, too. Tougher schedule. You're not sneaking up on anybody like you did a little bit last year, right? I'm with you on R.J. Harvey, and I'll be honest. I cover the draft. I look at the first rounders. Who's coming out in the first round.
Right.
I didn't know R.J. Harvey from Adam. So then, of course, as soon as they drafted him, because I still do my radio show in Denver, I'd start digging into the film.
Right.
And that dude can play.
He sure can.
That dude can play. And he is one of those guys that is dynamic. He runs tough between the tackles, got great contact balance. He's elusive between the tackles, but he seems to me to have breakaway speed. And I know they didn't use him a lot in the passing game, but if you look at Dobbins and R.J. Harvey as kind of a Kamara / Ingram,
right,
like Sean Payton had back in the day in New Orleans. That could be a pretty fearsome group right there. So I'm excited about their running back room because I thought it was the biggest weakness they had on their football team, and I think they've addressed it quite well.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.